All right, Maximus Analysis here for March 22nd at the close, and we see that we're getting pretty close to the target of 2048. We came about half, basically 2 ticks of the ES to that target, bringing us back into the mid-level of the chop. Again, when we see some type of pullback, we just want to see them hold the levels that we've been talking about for a while. Those levels are 2003 and especially 1978 and 1965. That puts us, 1965 puts us back into this region right here. We don't want to break below this last pivot. Okay, we saw indecision and they broke up and continued to the upside. Right now, I'd be looking to peel positions off again, trimming some, tightening up stops because we've moved in an epic way, moving to the upside. We could see that again, we're getting into Wednesday. Volume is really lightening up, and we're about 5 to 6 weeks. And we showed in the past, and let me use the continuous contract for the ES. Oh, let me just state something as well. There was somebody that mentioned this on Stocktwits that, again, they would like to have me show the symbol. So you see in this upper left-hand corner, it does give the symbol. So if you want to scroll through the video, you can actually, see what name I'm looking at by just looking up here. So you can see ES pound F is the E-mini futures continuous contract. So that probably will help if you guys want to scroll through and look for particular names. We see that our bear market trend line is holding. Of course, now we've shown before that this is 5 to 6 weeks typically to the upside. Then we start getting a little bit tired. 5 to 6 weeks again. We're right there now, still having lower highs in the middle of the chop. So we want to hold those 2003, 1978, and 1965 levels. As long as we hold above those levels in the interim, the bulls are in control. Let's look at the NQ. NQ pretty much on the weekly time frame. We see that we pretty much have the same type of deal coming on. Let's go back to the daily, and you could see that again we want the retracement to hold 43.53 and 4,300. Okay, 4,300 brings us right back into this level. We want to hold these highs. Okay, we want them to come, layer on top, and then continue to pop up for more upside potential. Middle of the chop for this name is around the 4,600 for the NQ. So that would be an upside target. Again, using an intraday time frame would probably be the best bet due to how far we are in this run. So again, to just mitigate risk, that would be something I would recommend and have been recommending. YM. Again, it gave a slight break of a previous low, nothing major, but again, on the retracement, we want to see them hold the 17 to 275 area. Of course, the 17,000 and the 16,800 level. That brings us right back down here. We don't want to get and break a pivot, and we'll see how that plays out. The CL. Again, CL, it's the K contract now. It was pretty sideways. Again, we want to stay above the, if we get a retracement, we want to stay above 39.58 and of course the $39 level. $39 levels put us right back into this level. We'd like to hold these highs, and even if we can hold the $40 level as well. So we'll continue to watch that one. So let's look at some individual names, and we'll start with Amazon. And Amazon actually looks really good right here, holding the 200-day moving average after, Japanese candlestick guys. You see that you have a hammer and you have almost an engulfing pattern here. So you had some strong movement again. You just want to see some follow through again, breaking above the 580s, 590s would definitely give a nice little short squeeze pop. And again, you really want to look at the volume if it does get to that level to see if it's a short squeeze or you want to be in already. You rather be taking profits off going into a 590, 600 level. If they're going to hold, you want to hold this 541 area on the again to the upside. We don't want to gap down at all on this candle. But again, be very cautious. And again, the reason why I'm saying intraday time frame is because when we looked at the ES, which we always start our videos with, we looked at that to kind of tell us what the tide is going to do. So again, they're always things that go in different ways than the actual indexes, but we try our best to stay in line with the indexes so that even if we don't have the best entry because we're on the right side of the tide, we still get the push that we need. So just watch this one as well. Again, we want to see some follow through volume and break above the high. Tesla finally gave a little bit of sell signal. Again, the retracement, we want to see them hold. Let's say this 20, I would say that the 218 level, we want to see them hold on a retracement level, of course, holding above this 209 area. And I think that would be a good sign. But again, you know, on the weekly time frame, we still see this is probably one of the biggest runners up, and we don't want to see them break back below because they still will give a lower high, even though they've broken this little trend line. But you see you have a V here, so let's see if we're going to get some sideways movement like that and then potentially go back to the upside. We'll see. But again, we want to see that retracement hold a 218 level. Google, and again, you can see that the symbols right here in the upper left. Google, on the weekly time frame, we're still struggling around this 756 area that we've been talking about. So we don't want them to break back below that. And again, it's using basically the weekly time frame. And the reason why we're using this one a little bit more is because we didn't get on the daily time frame. We didn't really get a gap up on the earnings. I mean, they gapped up, but nothing like a price line or anything like we'll show in a later, the next symbol. So again, a break of 743 puts us right back kind of in this, you know, choppy area. So we want to see them hold that area on a retracement. Last but not least, and I wanted to say something in regards to price line. I think that I don't know why it gapped, but they're saying because of the Brussels incident and travel might be a little bit, people might not be traveling. If you were long this, I just want to say that these things happen if you're trading options, because if you had shares, maybe you could have got your stop hit. If you have options and you put your risk management, these trades happen sometimes. They happen, and don't let them bum you out because you got dinged more than your typical stop because of an event that was outside of your control. So you could be as focused, laser focused on your risk, but sometimes crap happens. So again, we want to see them hold this this 1278 area. I want to see them hold because we're now starting, we just want them to layer above this previous high. So again, you had the gap down. Even on the intraday time frames, you might have still, you know, got hit on the gap down. But just want to say that, you know, people, I like to do these videos because I like to just be very realistic. There's stuff like this that happens, and it's not your fault. You don't go back in hindsight, say I should have, you know, not got long or just, it's okay. You know, again, you probably take a little bit bigger hit. If you're used to 1 or 2%, maybe you took 4%, but it's not because of something you did wrong. There was an event outside of the market that made this stop move down. So these things happen. You know, you got to look at the bigger picture of your trading performance to say, okay, these things happen, but at least I'm using risk or reward. Good, proper, you know, 3-to-1, 2-to-1. All the trades I am getting rewarded with. So when this anomaly happens outside my control, it sucks, but it's not a crushing type of defeat because you used some type of risk management and you didn't kind of just load the boat. So again, keep looking at this. We'll see what side of the fence they go on. And currently, let's go back to the ES. We'll see if they're going to hold these levels that we discussed in the video. Again, I added this little feature here. I'll actually look after I render this video how it looks. But again, we'll see what happens tomorrow. Remember, it's a short week. So Good Friday is no trading. So just remember that as well. Take care.